Be advised that this meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the Fairfax Connector webpage and to the Fairfax County's YouTube channel. So just please be advised. So good afternoon. My name is Kayla Berry with the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, and I want to welcome you to this community lunch and learn to discuss the Fairfax Connector April 2025 proposed service changes. Once the presentation is completed, we will begin the question and answer portion in which participants will ask their questions aloud. The chat feature has been disabled for this meeting, so we will not be taking written questions unless there's some difficulty with the mic. Then I can enable that. We did encounter that once before. We also encourage you to submit your comments to today's meeting using the online survey, online feedback form, written feedback, or phone call. Again, we'll have information on the various ways to provide comments at the end of the presentation. Kyle, Mr. Davis, would you like to introduce yourself and begin our presentation this afternoon?
Yes, Kayla, thank you. My name is Kyle Davis, and I'm a transportation planner with the Fairfax County Department of Transportation, or FCDOT, and I will be delivering today's presentation. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. The agenda for today is, first we'll go over the proposed service changes, then we'll get into the route profiles, which includes maps, then we'll discuss Title VI and next steps. The April 2025 service changes proposed service changes include the following routes: 352, 353, 598, 599, 642, and 652. Table gives an overview of the proposed service changes. I'll just briefly go over them before getting into a deeper dive with the route profiles. For Route 352, the proposal is to reduce service in order to meet demand. The existing frequency would only change by 5 minutes, from 20 minutes to 25 minutes. The span of service would not change very much, again, only by about 5 to 10 minutes or so. Route 353, this route would be realigned to serve the new Franconia Government Center, which is slated to open in 2025. The frequency and span of service would remain essentially the same. Route 598, there would be this route is being done in conjunction with Route 599. 599 is proposed to be discontinued. However, it would be replaced by the existing Route 598. Route 599 has 25-minute peak-only service, whereas Route 598 would have service every 15 to 30 minutes under our proposal. Route 642, the proposal here is to reduce service in order to meet demand and save resources. The proposal would have the route go from every 30 minutes to every 60 minutes during the peak. And Route 652 would be a new route in the Franklin Farm area, which would provide service every 60 minutes. So just to get into a deeper dive with the routes, what we call the route profiles, excuse me, what we call the route profiles, these provide maps and more detailed information about each proposed service change. So with Route 352, this route goes from TSA to the TSA headquarters in Springfield, to the Springfield Town Center, to Franconia Springfield Metro Rail Station. Again, the change here is a change in frequency. This is a circulator route that connects to a number of different routes. As you can see here under where it says transfers available on the right-hand side, you can see all of the routes that it connects to. And again, this is a frequency change. So moving on to the next route, 353, this is a route that is a business circulator in the greater Springfield area. As of right now, it does not serve the loop here, just east of Beulah Street or Beulah Avenue, and that is because right now the new Franconia Government Center is under construction. So once that has been completed, the proposal is to loop Route 353 around in order to connect to the new Franconia Government Center. You can see on the right-hand side, again, the number of routes that it connects to on the right-hand side. Frequency and span of service would remain essentially the same. Route 598, this is the substitution route. This is the route that would be, it's in place today, but it would be the route that would serve Reston to the Pentagon. And this route would replace 599, which is proposed to be discontinued, as you can see here on the following slide here. Again, Route 598 is proposed to have a frequency of every 15 to 30 minutes, as opposed to the 25 minutes on Route 599 today. Route 642, this is a map showing what the route looks like and what it will look like. There's no proposal to change the realignment. There's no proposal to change the alignment of the service, but rather the frequency. It would go from every 30 minutes to every 60 minutes in order to meet the current demand for the route. This goes from Stone Road Park and Ride to Centerville North. And finally, we have Route 652, which is a new route, which would serve the Chantilly and Franklin Farm areas and connect to Stringfellow Park and Ride. From Stringfellow, you can catch routes that will take you to places such as Vienna Metro and also to DC via Route 697. Title VI. So just to provide an overview, Title VI is a clause within the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which we have to conform to as part of federal regulations. Essentially, it prohibits discrimination based on low income or minority status. And as a result, we have to conduct Title VI analyses for the service changes that we propose. And as a result of this, we found no disparate impact or disproportionate burden as a part of this. So essentially, there's we did not find any adverse impact on low-income or minority populations as a result of our Title VI analysis. Next steps, final changes would be, we would, based on the comments and feedback that we received during the current public hearing process, we would refine our service changes over the course of the upcoming winter. We anticipate bringing this to the Board of Supervisors for approval in the winter or spring of 2025, and we would look to implement the service in April of 2025. So, Kayla, can you can take it from here.
Thank you, Kyle. So now we would like to open the meeting up for questions and comments, and here are the instructions if you have not participated with us before. We want you to raise your hand. That's located at the top of your screen next to the three dots. Then I will enable your microphone and call on you to ask your question. Please unmute yourself when your name is called and ask your question, provide your comment, and then after you're done, please mute yourself after you've asked your question. If you are participating by telephone or mobile phone, you can press *5 to raise your hand. And when you are called upon by your phone number, please press *6 to unmute. After you are finished, you just have to push *6 to mute yourself again. So, are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions about the proposed changes and would like to share some feedback? Don't be shy. We'd love to hear from you. Good, bad comments, good comments. Okay. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let me unmute you here. Hi, Eddie. How are you?
Doing good. Doing
Great, great. All right, go ahead, Eddie. Would you mind going ahead and asking your question?
Oh yeah, so I have two questions. So number one is that this is a nice next slide, you guys proposed about 652 and 642 lots made improvement, but is there a way you guys can improve the bus service next to Chantilly and Central area? Because I'm trying my best as I could to improve people with disabilities and community and advocates to move around to Central and Chantilly, because I heard there's a redevelopment in Centerville for the future, because I heard they're doing redevelopment. I was wondering if you guys can improve the bus service because this area that's I live in, the Central area, they don't have enough buses, and it makes it hard for me to get around. That's number one. Number two is that is there any route details about other routes like so about 610, about 670, and about 313 other buses to connect first to the Monument Drive? Because I haven't heard that for a while because I'm worried about the people who can get around and the people who like for jobs and shopping and do any destination to point B. Don't forget students, the just making students, and don't forget the Cabby Henny shelter people from the Springfield district, and don't forget from other districts, which I'm trying to advocate on other districts, but I don't think no one should deny my voice and to reject my voice, which I'm trying my best to advocate, which I understand it will take time. And that's
Yes.
all I have to do. Great.
Okay, great. Eddie, I didn't quite understand some of the what you were asking or saying because you were kind of garbled a little bit. But
Sorry, my earbuds. I was in my earbuds.
oh yeah, I mean, I apologize. We're genuinely trying to listen, but for some reason it's kind of not coming through as clear as I'd like. Kyle, would you be able, did you understand some of the
I think I
comments
understand.
and
I think
questions?
I think I understood. So with the first question, Eddie, can you be more specific about what changes need to happen in Chantilly Centerville area?
Because the reason why I'm doing it because the Central area, those buses to connect aren't being connected to each other because it makes it harder to commute. But the good news is there's an I-01, the I-01 connected, but I wish there could be a lot of improvements, like to improve services to connect those to destinations because some viewers are having it hard for votes because, for example, about 630, I wish there could be a little bit of improvement and one about 610 will come because that will help for make an improvement to connect the point to point C. Without that, it'll make it harder for me and for the commuter and people with disabilities who don't rely on car, who I am 100% on public transportation.
Yeah. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
you're a huge supporter. Sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
right. So we'll make a note of your comments, Eddie, and we'll evaluate what you're proposing and what you're asking for. As always, you have to keep in mind that we do have limited resources to work with, and so that does sometimes hinder what we're able to do. And it also takes time for us to evaluate a service change proposal or evaluate feedback that we receive. So just keep that in mind. But other than that, we will make a note of what it is that you're proposing. Um, and as always, you can, feel free to email as well, email or call. As for Route 610, that is proposed to be implemented in January, if I'm not mistaken. And Route 670 has already 670 has already gone before the public, and so that's why it's not included here. We've already solicited feedback on Route
And
670.
about 313,
313, that's further down the road. That's very much a proposal for now.
Yeah, I'm eager
thank
for
you.
that one because that serves my community. So I'm excited about the 313 as well, but it just takes a little time. And I just want to say something and just in general. Um, Due to budget issues, the planning team has to make changes to the system and routes and the frequency and all that stuff with a zero change budget. So for an example, if they have $100 to do everything, they've got to keep it under $100 no matter what they change. Now, obviously, it's a lot more money than that, but I just think people need to also understand, so they are working in a budget neutral environment, and that is a big challenge for them. So that's why I think it's important for people to, advocate, like you, Eddie, and to come and ask questions. So we do appreciate the feedback, and of course, we'll have other options for you that I'll talk about here in a minute.
Yeah,
Is
so
there?
I
Go
was
ahead.
just going to add to that and say that essentially what this means, Eddie, is that in order to add service somewhere, we have to propose a reduction in service somewhere else in order to cover that cost.
Oh. So anyway, it's a challenge to be sure. We've got to stick to a budget just like our residents do. So, but there's obviously changes that can be made and have been made. And obviously with the Centerville Chantilly Vienna Tyson's change that we did earlier this year, that was a massive change, providing a lot of connectivity. And then now we'll be looking at connectivity from Springfield out to Chantilly. Like there's a lot of changes still happening. So alrighty. Does anyone else want to ask a question about the presentation or provide a comment? All right, Mr. Rudisill, let me go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hey,
Can you
good
mute?
afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Perfect.
Thank
Great.
you.
I'm specifically commenting on Route 652. I live in the Franklin Farm area, and just two things about the route. I'm glad that you're restoring at least somewhat of that service from the old 652. However, two issues I have. One is frequency, especially with the type of people who live in this community, higher income in Franklin Farm at least. I know 60 minutes is going to be slightly tougher to convince people to take that bus. I do know some people who take the what's the 9 bus that goes to
The 901?
sorry, not the 901, the 983, 8982. Sorry, I'm forgetting on.
983.
Yes,
Right.
there you go.
Right.
983. I know some people take that and that's got better frequency and also just all day service. However, I do think a 60-hour time or 60-minute time frame on that might not be enough to convince people, even though it has good connection down to Stringfellow, might be tough to convince people to take that. I'm just concerned about losing bus service because we get bus service, it gets taken away and all that. So that's my first comment. Second is more of a recommendation possibility on route realignment down the eastern half between the Fairfax County Parkway and West Ox that was formerly served by the 585 and then removed once the Silver Line was extended. While we do have the 605 on the West Ox side, which is great, and the frequency is pretty good, it would be nice to have that service re-extended through the second half of Franklin Farm, as it is about a 10-12 minute walk for me to get to the bus stop from where I live. And I know other people who don't even consider it because of how far of a walk it is.
Right. That's
Thank you for
great.
your,
Yeah.
thank you
Sorry.
for your comments, and we'll evaluate that. We'll take into consideration your comments. Thank you for providing that feedback.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really, really good feedback. So thanks so much. That's the kind of stuff we like to hear, both from you and Eddie. This is like really valuable input for the planning team. Anyone else have, I mean, anyone else have any comments or questions, concerns? So I just want to, be advised that I believe we're going to stay on for until 1 o'clock in case anybody joins us late, just to make sure. But for the purposes of, closing out this portion of the meeting, if there are no other questions, I would like to remind you that you can provide your feedback online. You can visit fairfaxconnector.com and fill out the online survey. The survey should be available after 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, so after people get off work typically. And your comments are going to be accepted through November 26th. So just before Thanksgiving, we got a couple weeks for you guys to respond to those questions. You can also call us at 703-877-5600. If you'd like, there's also that's the main office number. There's also number here is 703-339-7200. That is the TIC, our customer service line. So you can give them a quick call if you've had any questions about the routes on the fly. I'm sure you've called that number. You can also mail your comments to Fairfax County Department of Transportation. Attention, Fairfax Connector, April 2025 proposed service change. That's at 4050 Legato Road, Suite 400, Fairfax, Virginia 22033. We will also be hosting another virtual meeting tomorrow night, beginning at 7 p.m. On November 13th, 2024. Again, that's tomorrow evening. And if you'd like to join us again, or if you'd like to share this information, please do. We will, download this recording and this presentation and add it to the website so that you can access this if you'd like to go back and take a look. And then we do have the link to the survey if you want to just screenshot it. Or the easiest way to do it is just to go to fairfaxconnector.com. So hopefully everybody understood those instructions. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I will thank you for your participation, and we hope that you have a wonderful day. And if you feel like it, please feel free to join us tomorrow evening, or, make it a party with your friends. Okay. Well, again, thank you guys so much. And I'm gonna let you go now, and we will hang on the line for any other latecomers.